All right, we're back broadcasting live from the Toms River Auto Group studio right here in Northfield. Billy Schweim, my agent at the beach, Mark Grimes, and, of course, Nikki Earnshaw producing today. And Phillies today at 1:35 against the Dodgers. And Nick and I went to the ball game on Friday night, and we got to sit in the press box there and watch a nice win. Luzardo looked great. Last night, not so good as Aaron Nola gave up a couple gopher balls, and the Phillies lost yesterday to the Dodgers 3-1. So today's the rubber match, and to get us through today's game and every Sunday throughout the baseball season, we go on the mound with former Phillies pitcher Tommy Greene, sponsored by Blitz's Market of Ocean City, located at 21st and Asbury Avenue. Try their famous breakfast sandwiches, hoagies, gourmet burgers, and vegetarian options. Online ordering is available at blitzesmarkets.com or give them a call at 609-399-9983. Start your day off with Blitz's freshly squeezed orange juice. Mention the locker room and get $1 off their 12 ounces of liquid sunshine. That's Blitz's Markets. Let's go to the Toms River Volkswagen Sports Hotline and welcome in to the locker room former Phillies pitcher Tommy Greene. Good morning, T.D. Greene.
Good morning, Billy. How you guys doing, man?
All right. You know what? Nikki and I caught a good baseball game on Friday night, and I know. Look, Tommy. I know it's early April and everything, but it was a great crowd, and Nick, did it almost have like a playoff atmosphere a little bit?
It did. I mean, when
really
the Dodgers
did,
come to town, yeah.
Well, I mean, you got the mighty Dodgers coming in, the World Series champs, and what they've done, during the winter to add product on the field and the money they've spent. It's always that people want to see. And plus, you got one of the best players in baseball, if not the best, with Ohtani.
Yeah.
So I mean, as far as best hitters, I mean, he's proved it year in and year out. I'm sort of excited to see him pitch again at some point, and hopefully he can get back on the mound. It's good for baseball with him, but it's good to see that type of matchup early in the season.
Yeah.
And I heard you mention Nola gave up a couple gopher balls, and then that's my worry right now with him. I mean, it seems to be they're taking advantage of his the mistakes he's made. They've hit, and it's not been just like a solo homer all the time. I mean, he gave up a solo homer too, but he's given up 2- and 3-run homers, and that's what's killed him in the first couple of outings.
Hey, Tommy, so the Dodgers come in early in the season. Like you said, they are last year's World Series champions. They got a star-studded lineup. As a player, especially the Phillies, it's their – they got World Series aspirations, and they're one of the better teams in the National League. But do the players get up extra? Can they get up extra? Or is it just baseball? It's early April. You know what I mean? Because it's
I mean, no, they don't look at it, Billy, being early April and take it like that as a shrug off like that. No, they treat every baseball. We treat every baseball game the same way. At least you better. You know what I mean? And if you're taking it any way different, there's something wrong with it. Somebody's got to nip that in the bud.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you got to take every game. Every game is a win. We looked at today is a win day, and that's the way you look at it. You do everything you can to go out there and do the little things to help you win. And sometimes you get your lunch handed to you. Somebody you have to tip your hat to the opposing pitcher because he's lights out. And that type of thing. And that's the way it goes sometimes. But you still battle to the end.
Tommy, Luzardo the other night against Ohtani, Betts. I mean, he had his changeup working. I mean, if he could stay healthy, I mean, how important is he going to be to this rotation, especially heading into the postseason, deep into the playoffs?
Well, that's what everybody was talking about when they signed. They signed him. That kid has had good stuff since he come into baseball, and when he's healthy, he's pitched very well. Last year, while he was banged up a lot, he was hurt, and it's hard to pitch hurt. And if people expect you to pitch the same and velocity was down and all that type of stuff. This year, the expectations, I didn't put any expectations on. You hear me say it all the time. If he's healthy, he'll be okay.
Right.
Because he's got the stuff. If his stuff, and he proved it in spring training, his stuff was there. Now it's all about him staying healthy, because he's got the stuff to compete and help us win. So now the key to it is we got to figure out how to hit start pitching.
Yeah, we got it. We got to get to the starters. Every Sunday throughout the baseball season, we go on the mound with former Phillies pitcher Tommy Greene. We have him on the Toms River Volkswagen Sports Hotline right now. Tommy, the Phillies pitching staff's done really well against Ohtani. I mean, he's 1 for 7. So I mean, they've done their job. He hasn't hurt them with the long ball. But they don't have Freddie Freeman in the lineup. But this Dodgers team is just potent.
Well, I mean, it's a big-time lineup, and as a big-league ball player, I mean, a pitcher and a team, you want to play against the best, and right now we've taken 1 of 2 against them, so we're splitting. So today's a pretty good day. We get out a win today, screech out a win today. That's a good series against these guys.
Yeah,
you find a way to beat them 2 out of 3, I'll take it. Hey, Billy, you tell me you wouldn't take win 6 out of 8 games all the time?
No, I take it every day. You know me, Tommy.
I do know you.
Just don't talk to them the 2 days they lose.
No, exactly. He's not so bad today.
No.
Not so bad. Yeah.
Well, because you know what, Tommy, I got to be honest with you. Like Nick and I went to the game Friday night, and they put the ball in play. They played small ball.
Yeah.
Like it's like Nick and I said, like this team is either feast or famine. Right? They're either hitting the long, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. I mean, but then, as you heard me say it earlier, you got to tip your hat sometime to the pitching. We had probably chances to get the starter yesterday, Sasaki. I think he's got great stuff, and if he's located, you're gonna have a hard time hitting. But their bullpen did an outstanding job. You have to tip your hat to them with the stuff they brought to play. They were just on yesterday, and they kept us down. Good ball game. We lost 3-1. Aaron made a couple of mistakes, and that cost us. But sometimes you got to find a way, to screech out a run. I think we, with the mistake that Stott made getting doubled off, that was a huge thing because some things were happening right there. And one swing of the bat could change the game, and we didn't have that opportunity. So you never know what might have occurred after that.
Tommy, Billy and the crew yesterday were talking a lot about Taijuan Walker and his big start this past week.
I love it.
I know you were emphatic about it yesterday. For a guy like Walker, who has struggled since he's gotten here, has taken a lot of heat from the fan base, due to that big contract, having a start like that to begin the year, and I mean that's got to be very, very. I mean that's got to help you out a ton, right? As a pitcher, it gives you confidence. I mean, how can he build off of that?
Well, I mean, no, he needs to stay right where he's at because, he put forth the work that he had to do, to possibly make this club out of spring training. Mm-hmm. And he had a good enough spring to make it, and he showed the improvement to the guys that, he did bust his tail during the winter, and he made some improvements that what he needed to do and put forth the work, and he brought it to that first outing. Is he going to have issues? Yeah, he's not going to, be perfect all the time, but he is better than he was, and he's serviceable. And it's great to have that. Okay, now he's had that start. We know he can pitch, He's had success in his career. Now he seems like because of the hard work he put in, not that he didn't maybe work during the winters before, but he was working diligently this time to make himself better, to possibly make this club and not be, so to speak, looking for a job somewhere else.
Tommy, I want to ask you though, if you're in Rob Thompson's shoes and Ranger comes back, right? And you also have Andrew Painter waiting in the wings, and we're going to get updates about him very soon on what his future looks like this season. I mean, what do you do with a Taijuan Walker? And if you're Taijuan Walker, how do you adjust?
Well, I mean, the bottom line it comes in, if he's pitching that well, I mean, and it depends on how Ranger comes back.
That's a good problem to have.
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
Somebody's a trade bait. I think, or you got to keep enough there. But bottom line, you got to make sure Painter's healthy. That's why they're taking their time with it.
Hey, Tommy, I got to tell you though, yesterday I went off. I said, you know what? Taijuan Walker won my respect with his performance the other night for all the adversity that he's had to come through, all the boos that he suffered through, his mom crying in the stands. I mean, for him to be, and every single teammate sang his praises. great guy in the locker room. He's always at the top.
Teammate.
Right, great teammate. He could have sulked. He could have been like, a cancer in the locker room, if you will. But he wasn't. He was a great teammate. He was always up on the top step of the dugout cheering his team on. He did everything right. And I just think that's admirable and a great quality to have. I'm just so happy for him. I'm proud of him.
Yeah, I'm happy too. And the thing about being a big league ball player, sometimes you got those guys that do sulk and when they go bad and stuff like that. And I think it's total BS because you've got to be able to walk past the mirror and look at it and see your reflection.
Yeah, but
because you're not perfect. You're not a vampire. You got to hold your own self accountable, and you got to admit.
Yeah, but Tommy, he's been bad.
When you're not good, Billy. When you're not good, you got to take accountability. That's what he did. He took accountability.
Yeah, he did.
He knew he wasn't pitching well. He didn't take, but he said, "What can I do to make this situation better? What can I do to help it?" And that's being a good teammate and being there for my teammates. He's had a lot of success in his career. That's why he was here with us. So he's not trying to fail.
I know, but for all the failures,
love him for it.
But that's right. For all the failure and all the disappointment, he was really, really bad for a long period of time. And for him to fight through that, Grimes, that's admirable, man.
Yeah. Tommy,
I know. You got to credit that the hard work he put in and the due diligence he did. To come out here, he could be easy. He's got all the money he wants.
Right.
It'd been easy for him to turn in the bag and say, "Okay,
right.
I'm not going to put forth the effort." But he took pride in himself. He says, "I'm better than this, and I'm going to prove that I can do some things." And that's what he's done so far. That one outing, it was a good judgment. Now we got to hope everybody stays healthy. That's the thing. I want everybody to stay healthy.
Tommy, I just got one quick question coming from a pitcher's perspective. This new torpedo bat. What is your opinion on this?
Hey, if you make your pitch, they're going to have a hard time hitting it anyway. If you throw it down the center plate, you're going to pay the price, no matter what kind of bat they got. So, I think it's a load of, like I said a while ago, BS. A lot of times, whatever you put in your hand that makes you think it make you a better hitter, it's probably going to make you a better hitter because you believe it's going to happen.
Right.
It's all confidence. You know what I mean? So if you don't have the tendency to hit it off the big part of the bat, you're not going to have a lot of success anyway.
Right.
So you got either you can hit or you can't.
All right, Tommy.
That's the weeding out process.
Yeah. Tommy, we got Glass now against Sanchez today. It's a pretty good pitching matchup. Both guys have quality starts. Sanchez went 5 in a third. Glass now went 5 innings. He's got a 0.0 ERA, so he 8 strikeouts, 3 balls in his first appearance.
He's got great stuff.
Yeah, man.
He's got great stuff, Billy. He's a big guy. We got our work cut out for us, and hey, what a better guy, somebody like that to build some confidence, in our hitters if we can get him and score a few runs early and get on him. That way that would help a lot. Sort of like what Snell went through his last outing. They jumped on him and scored 4 or 5 runs, or whoever they were playing. That's got to happen, and that builds confidence in a lineup. And we need that type of day today.
And we got Schwarber leading off, Turner batting second, Harper third, Kepler fourth, Castellanos, Stott, Sosa, and let's see who else we got there.
Marchand.
And Marchand. So we got
Marchand's in there today.
Let's talk about TJ Realmuto.
JT.
JT. What did I say? TJ.
Yeah.
JT Realmuto. He's I'll tell you what, gunning people down at second base. He looked great the other day.
Well, I tell you what, you can't ask for a better attribute behind the plate as a pitcher that gives you a chance. That means you don't have to be so quick and so perfect on the mound to try to get the ball. You're trying to get him to him quick, but sometimes you can be too quick. And the key to pitching, what we always told ourselves was, you don't sacrifice stuff trying to be quick to the plate.
Right.
You still got to maintain your stuff, to the plate, because you try to be quick, you got a tendency to hang stuff and leave stuff over the middle of the plate. So. And that's the thing. And he helps our staff out so much with that because he has such a good arm and he's so quick-footed back there.
He looks great. All right, Tommy, rumor has it, actually it's not a rumor, we know it, you're going to be the Grand Marshal of the Doodah Parade?
How about that?
In Ocean City, New Jersey. What's that, next Saturday?
Yeah, the 12th, yeah. We're going to lead it off.
You better stop.
They gonna put the big ugly guy up front. Big bulldog.
You better stop.
Bulldog.
You better stop at Blitz's Markets to get your freshly squeezed orange juice.
Yeah, you know me. I can't drink it, but I'm good. I'm the diabetic. All that sugar.
Yeah, that's right. Well, go down there and say hello to Dave and Joe Newman. They love you. And as always, we love you too, Tommy. Thanks so much, and we'll talk to you next Sunday.
You got it, Billy.
Let's go Phillies. All right, there he is, Tommy Greene on the Toms River Volkswagen Sports Hotline, Grimesy.
That's great. Great interview.
Yeah, man.
That was fun.
Listen, Tommy Greene.
He's great.
Pitched a no-hitter. Can you imagine? We'll never. Every time we have him on, we play the Harry Callis call. Can you imagine? I mean, it's something that we have forever. Tommy Greene.
He's legendary.
So it's funny. I met him when I was like a little kid, and he wrote on the baseball no hitter, 1993 in the day. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
All right, 609-403-0973 is the text board. We're giving away an autographed Flyers hockey stick with a bunch of Flyers greats. 609-403-0973. What's the question, Nick?
All right, our question of the day is, what sports record will never be broken? 609-403-0973. On the other side, we got a ton of text to get to, Billy.
All right. First hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. From the shore to Center City and every place in between, Surety Title is there for you with over 20 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900 or give Chris Mooney a call in the Ocean City office, 609-399-1227. Now, just about everybody in our area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine that is run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunnick. But were you aware of the private business network they call the Legacy Club? Every month, they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia and South Jersey. They attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events and see it's a fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give them a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. When we return, we'll wrap up hour number one. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim, Mark Grimes, and Nicky Earnshaw right here on 97.3 ESPN.